This is the 7th episode of the Shell Cordovan podcast. Let's get started with the comments. This first comment is from a video that I published last year, and it is around how to wear and find loafers that fit. Specifically, I was featuring my pair of remote bespoke tassel loafers from Ichigo Ichie. Speaking of Ichigo Ichie, if you haven't checked it out yet, I just published an unboxing and an initial review of this pair of Lazy Men, which is from the ready-to-wear collection of Ichigo Ichie Shoemaker. If I can find another way to integrate Ichigo Ichie into, the narrative that I'm sharing here on the podcast, I will definitely, because everybody knows, as much as I love the shoes, I love saying Ichigo Ichie just as much. But anyway, in all seriousness, so the comment here, and for those listening, like the video that I published last year is really just kind of like featuring some of the main fit complications that people experience with loafers. So this comment from I think it's Guy's Evening 4910 is, what about heel slippage on new loafers? Heel slippage is going to be pretty common on new loafers, because you don't have the lacing to secure your foot in 100%, but usually as long as it's a minimal amount of heel slippage, that will subside as you break in the insole and the outsole, because kind of what's causing the heel slippage is the bottoming of the shoe is very stiff, so it doesn't flex as much as needed. So without that extra security of the lacing, your heel may come out a little bit. Once you break in the bottoming, so the insole and the outsole of the loafer, it'll be more susceptible to molding to your foot and flexing with your foot, so that heel slippage won't continue or persist throughout the life. The Brannock device is hanging on my wall because that's really all that I think it's good for. This gentleman said, and this is Ups Bear. I think I'm saying this stuff right, Ups Bear, UPS Bear. Maybe it's UPS Bear. I finally went and put my feet on a Brannock device. It shows my feet to be a size 9.5, but funny thing is, I've been wearing a size 8 shoes for the last 50 years. Or I can wear a size 8.5 with a thick trail sock. Having size 9.5 shoes on is like wearing canoes for me. So I don't understand. So my initial reply is, you should have gotten at least 3 sizes when they use the Brannock device. The length, width, and the ball of your foot measurement. There are many intangibles though. Did you measure your own foot? And are you referring to US sizing or UK sizing? He replied, actually, the ball of the foot was also a 9.5. And he's in Canada, so he's always worn size 8 US. And the Brannock device was in US sizing as well. And he also got the width of his foot, which was a B as in boy or C as in cat width. Well, that kind of explains it. When, using ready to wear or stock last, to kind of find the right size, when the width of your foot is either a full width or 2 full widths larger than the standard or narrower than the standard, typically the standard is a D width. The way that most, consumers and the way that most shoe salesmen compensate for that is by going down in the overall size. So if he's 2 sizes narrower than a D, it would make sense that most likely what he's doing is intentionally or unintentionally is compensating for that narrow foot by sizing down from a 9.5 to an 8 or an 8.5, just like he said. I'm going to jump over to this video real quick and pull up the comment because it's a lengthy one, so bear with me. His full comment here is, the top Acme Chinese made line shoe, I think it's called the Acme series, is vastly superior to any other Chinese made shoes out there, and very close, although not quite equal, to Bemmer's traditional collection, excuse me. He typed out the, Italian traditional. I'm just going to say traditional. Shoes like Fukuda, cleverly, Spigola set the standards. Of course, these brands that I mentioned start at someplace around 1,700 USD, and Gassiano and Girling's Optimum starts at 6,000. It's expensive to make a well-crafted shoe. Let's be honest. Helen is good and I'm sure honest. with great integrity, but China isn't exactly known for having the best trade, commercial, ethical standards and practices. If English and Spanish commercial goods turn out to be below advertised standards, I know exactly how to file a grievance against the company. But in China, you have no reliable recourse. I think you're being a little naive asking why one might question the advertised standards of a Chinese-made product. Personally, I'd rather save my pennies and purchase from one of the better-known companies, with the exception of the Acme series. The other Chinese companies appear to cut too many corners for me. You know, the mass-produced goods coming out of China, coming out of factories, there's concerns. There's reasons why people aren't always, you know, the most excited to see something is made in China. I get it. I'm not claiming that to be false. What I'm saying is, like, there are the exceptions to the rule. And there are definitely more than just one good shoemaker that's located in China. Many of these shoemakers that are in China, and they are Chinese themselves, I believe, have training either outside of China, or they've been trained in the traditional shoemaking techniques from somebody, you know, say in like Italy, Spain, the United Kingdom, and maybe